My name is Seth Bani, and today I'm going to show you how to design this. Okay, so let's step into Photoshop, and then let's start with our new document. Now the width is going to be 1500, the height is going to be 1500, the resolution is going to be 7:2. You're using pixels, of course. You're using RGB and then white, and then the name, let's call it Christmas Carol's flyer, and then create. Okay, so I'll set my rulers just to help me identify the middle. And the first thing we're going to start with is the background, of course, the background. So we'll go and then we'll pick this bookie background, and then let's just drag it in there and resize it. We want to resize it to occupy the entire screen. Alright, so something like this is quite great. Let's go, let's pick another background again. Which one? Let's pick this one. We want our background to be as rich as possible, and so that's what we are trying to do. Let's flip it horizontal. Okay, and then just resize it. Nice. I love this one as well. And then we'll click on OK. Now with this particular one, I just want us to set the blending mode to multiply, just like that. It looks quite great, but we can add more background to it. Let's go for our ball, whatever it is. Oh boy, let's just drag this over here. Somewhere here would do. Remember, we can always edit it. We can come back there and change some certain things. So let's set this one to soft light to blend it in there. I can see the edges around there, so I'll give it a mask. Pick my brush, make sure the caps lock is off, increase the size, go and then make sure it's a soft round brush with the hardness 0, the opacity and the flow also 100%. Make sure here is color black, and then I'll click over here, and then I would just reduce the size a little bit, mask this side and mask this side. Awesome, just so it blends in nicely. So now we can have these also in the background. Let's bring some light over here. I would wish my image to be here, and then the text should be over here. And so what I'm going to do is the background should be darker for the brush to bright over here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll click over here, and then I'll come here and pick this brush color FF2046. It's essentially color red. Okay, you can use any color red, and then you just hit over here like that. Nice. And then go to your blending mode and then choose linear light. So we're going to use linear light. All right, and then let's also bring in our vignette. You're going to create that by just using color black over here, and then reducing the size of the brush, and then just painting here, something like that. All right, so now we're going to reduce opacity over here to 40%. Nice, just like that. So now the emphasis is on this particular place. Awesome. Also, let's bring in some snow in the background just to make it more realistic and more richer. Let's rotate it 90-degree clockwise or anti-clockwise, however you want it to be. And then let's go to the blending modes and let's set it to screen. Awesome. So now you can see only the snow. Let's give it some mask, and then let's clean this side. You can always come back to it and then change it. Also want to mask this side. Now let's duplicate it, and then let's move it here. Click on the mask and then click on your brush. Also like to clean this side, and then clean here as well. But then let's also blur it. Let's go to filter, let's go to blur, let's go to Gaussian blur. We want this side to be very blur. Let's give it 8.2. This one is too much. 8.2, so we can feel it in the background. All right, so essentially that is it. Let's put everything in a folder and let's call it the background. All right, so let's start with our carols night. Let's click over here, let's pick our text tool, and then also let's click on carols, copy it, and then let's paste it there. And then let's go to our character. We want to set it to mermaid. This is a font I've never used before in my tutorials. Mermaid. but I'm going to leave it in the description for you, mermaid. We're also going to set here to bold, and then for the font size we are going to use 28. Make it quite big like that. Also make sure here's color white, and then let's see how we can position this. Okay, so around here is quite great. Let's set it like that, and let's bring this one over here as well. Let's see, bring this one here. Oh, I should just like that. We have the middle of it. Now let's go and let's pick our golden foil or golden texture, and then let's reduce it drastically. Okay, if possible, you can even rotate it, drag it up. Now clip it to it, just like that. It looks quite great. Type over here night, type over there, but you can see we have bold over here, kind of bold and solid font. We want to change the font a little bit just to add more beauty to the text. And so let's go and let's pick Barnet. Now we are setting it to regular over here. Let's set the font size to 238, and then we are using color white, of course. Let's make sure it is middle aligned, something like this. Okay, so this looks quite great. Now let's put it in a folder and let's call it Carol's Night. Also, let's add more details up here. Let's use gold. Let's paste it there. For the gold, we are going to use railway for that. We are also going to set it here to medium, and we're going to reduce the font size to 35. Also click here to make it bold, caps lock, sorry. Set it to color white over here, and then let's zoom in. You want to zoom in for this, just drag it somewhere here. Let's pick our rectangular tool and then drag and then draw a rectangle here. Awesome. Now I also want to double click the rectangle, and let's choose this particular color, E7070E. It's color red, but it's a brightened color, and that's what we want to use just to differentiate it from the background. Okay, let's drag it down. Now let's make sure the gold is in the middle of the whole mix. So click on your gold, click on your move tool, and then just use your eyes to judge. Also click on your character. Let's go to paragraph. Alright, now it is left aligned. That's what we want. Let's click this, put it in a folder. Let's call it gold. Let's duplicate it and let's drag it here. Now over here, let's create a new layer, drag it down. Now I want you to pick your brush to make sure caps lock is off, reduce it, set the color here to color black, and then just alright, so that's it. I also want you to give it a mask. Reduce the size of the brush, set it to color black, 100%, 100%. Click on the mask here, and then just clean here, and then clean here. So now let's click over here on this particular thumbnail, and then let's go to our blur, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then let's reduce it a little bit. So something like this is quite great. Let's see. Awesome. Let's call it frankincense, and then paste it there. Now click on your rectangle and drag it like that. Let's zoom in, drag it a little bit more. Okay, awesome. Let's call it frankincense, of course. and then let's duplicate it. Click on the move tool and just move it like that, so you can see. Let's name this one Mare. Let's reduce the rectangle. We want it to be equal from here to here, just a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's great. Okay, so something like this is quite great. Let's name it Mare. Now let's put it all in a folder, and let's call them Gold stroke Frank stroke Mare. Alright, so that is it. But then we want it to be middle aligned, of course, and it is middle aligned. Amazing. Let's drag it up a little bit. Then I want you to pick this Christmas PNG file, and then let's reduce it drastically, and then send it up here. So now double click it and let's go to our drop shadow effect. Let's go to the drop shadow layer style, and from here we are going to use multiply over here. Also we are going to use this particular color 260400. Click on OK. For the opacity we are going to set it to 59, and then we are going to set here to 0. We're going to set the spread to 2, and then we are going to set the size to 65. Click on OK. So you could see the effect over here, and that is what we want. Let's close this one. Let's to add an image over here because the choir is going to be a church choir. So let's pick this, and then let's draw something like this. Let's pick the choir. Let's drag it in there. Right click it and create clipping mask. Now let's see. Hold shift and drag it away. Hold shift and drag it away. Alright, so this is great. Click on the rectangle and duplicate it, and then drag the one beneath it up. Now I want you to go and click over here on the rectangular tool, and then make sure the fill is off, and then go to the stroke, set the stroke to color white. Now we have the stroke showing, but we want it to be lined, so let's click on this one. And for the size of the stroke, we are going to use 9. Let's type over here. Let's pick their name. Let's just say they are called the Soweto Inspirational Choir. Okay, so let's go to our character, and then let's set it to railway over here. Let's also set it to medium. The font size, let's set it to 35. Click here to make sure all of them are caps, and then you're using color white, and then the tracking is also 0. And then let's click on the Soweto, click on the move tool, and then let's move the text. So somewhere here is quite great. Now let's type over here. Let's pick there. We just want to make it a little bit stylish, so that there we are going to use taken by vultures. Okay, regular. The size, let's use 87, and then we are setting it to color white over here as well. Alright, so make sure this is unticked, and then let's drag it somewhere here. Now I want you to drag the beneath the Soweto. Now double click it for us to have the layer styles, and then let's go to stroke. Now for the stroke, you're going to use a size 3. You're going to use outside. You're going to use normal. The opacity, you're going to set it to 100. But then the color, we are going to use 4D 0001. And then you click on OK, and then OK. And so you will realize that we have some stroke around it. We are done with the Soweto. Let's put everything in a folder. Let's call it Soweto Choir. Now I want us to drag the Soweto underneath the Carols Night. Okay, and then let's push the Soweto up. I think we added one more thing to the Soweto, which is this particular layer. We don't want it to be part of that folder, so let's drag it out of it. Alright, so now this is the Soweto. Let's move it up. Awesome. So that you can see that the night, the G's in it, and that's what we are looking for. Let's close this one. Now we can work on the image. So let's go and pick our image. Let's pick this gentleman, drag him in there, and then let's resize it. Okay, so I think this is quite great, but then you can also realize that the color of the background and everything does not match with the image, and so this is where we start doing a little bit of color correction, and then you're going to clip it to it just to make the contrast a little bit more, interesting. And so let's pull this side until we get to around 70 something. So let's just say 74 is quite great. Also the middle here, let's drag it. So on 112 is quite great. I like the way it looks like. For here, let's set here to 253. Just a little bit of it. Also let's set here to 0, and then here let's set it to 233. Awesome. And then let's close it. Now let's pick color balance. The reason why I'm picking color balance is because the face is more of orange and a little bit of white and stuff like that. It does not reflect the color of the background. We need to add the color of the background to it as well. And so for the mid-tones, let's use the cyan. Let's use this particular number. We are using 33. Now you could see that there's some red coming in there. That is great. The magenta, let's use -3. Still more are coming up. And then for the yellow to blue over here, let's use -10. And that is awesome. Let's go to the shadows, and for the shadows, let's boost the cyan to red to around 17. Let's make sure it is clipped to the particular image. That's how we want it to be. Also, let's go to this one and let's set it to -9. Awesome. I like the way it's showing. Let's set this one to -5, and that is it. And so just like that, we just made it blend with the background. Okay, so let's put these in a folder, and then let's call it image. So now let's work on our date. Click here and let's pick 24, and then type over the 24. Go to your panel over here and let's choose still fish. Now let's set the font size to 130. Awesome. Also make sure here's regular. Set the tracking to -30. Awesome. Color white over here, and that is it. Now I'm doing this because I want the date to be very pronounced and to stand out. I don't want people to miss it. I wanted it to stand out. Okay, now let's type December over here. Paste December here, and for December we are going to use this particular color, FFC62A, and then let's duplicate the 24 and then drag it here. Alright, and then let's name it 2021. Awesome. Also, let's pick our rectangular tool and draw a rectangle like that. Alright, let's set it to color white over there. Drag it up. Pick your text tool and type somewhere here. I want you to pick this. The time. Let's paste it there. Now let's go to our character, and then we are using still fish. We are also using extra bold this time, and then let's set here to 50. That's the size. Awesome. But then the leading is not quite good, so let's go to the leading let's set it to 48.66. Enter. Awesome. Let's click over here, let's set it to color black, and then for the tracking let's set it to -30. Now click on your move tool and then just move it in there. Zoom in, let's see. Okay, let's bring this one in a little bit, it's too much. Alright, so what we are going to do is we need to be more artistic right now, so let's group it. Let's call it date stroke time. Then let's drag it here. Awesome. Let's pick our image and let's drag our image in here and let's resize it more. Okay, so something like this is quite great. One more thing, the sweat tool. Let's pick the date. Let's see, this is the image, this is the date. Let's drag it a little bit up. Now I'm doing this because I want there to be equal spacing over here, all right, and then let's type a few more details here. Let's pick the venue and let's type it over there. Now for the venue, I want us to use railway. Let's set it to light. I'm setting it to light because there are too many bold fonts over here. We need to make sure there's a little difference as well over there. So it's going to be light. Let's set it to color white. Awesome. Well, then the size is too much, so what we do is let's reduce the size to 28. Also, the leading is too much leading over here, so let's go to the leading and then let's reduce it to 29.14. Now it's quite closer and this is quite great. Also, it looks more of left aligned. Let's go to paragraph, let's make it middle aligned and then let's drag it back there again. Let's go back to paragraph. Let's set here to -40. Click here to make it all caps, and that is it. Let's pull it somewhere here a little bit. Then let's type here streaming on and let's paste it there. Now for the streaming on, we are still using railway, but we're not going to use light. We want to change it because the more you change your text, the more they look more beautiful. And then let's set the number here to 41. Also change the size. Make sure there are many differences as possible. For the tracking, we're still going to use this. Still going to make it all caps. But then the color, let's come and choose this yellow color over here. And that is it. Let's go and pick our YouTube. Enter. And then let's drag it there. Let's zoom in and make sure we can align it with our eyes. Alright, now I can see anything. Alright, so the two of them selected. Let's make sure it is also aligned over here. Let's drag it up a little bit. Okay, we want to make sure it's somewhere here. Yep, so this is quite great. Let's click here, let's call it venue. Okay, so let's see. So that's the venue. Now let's work on the name here. So let's pick our text tool, let's type there, and then let's pick prophet. Let's paste prophet over there. Let's go, let's change the color to this particular color, FFC8 2B. Click on OK, and then let's go and change the font to Helvetica. Let's set it to regular here, and then for the font size is too big, let's set it to 29, so we'll make it quite smaller. And then the tracking, let's set it to 0. Also for this, let's make it all caps, and then that is practically it. We'll come back and then work on the placement. Well, let's duplicate it, bring it down, go here and make sure it is left aligned. Okay, now let's pick Seth Bani and then paste it there. Now we are going to use this particular font, Helvetica still, regular still, but the size we're going to increase it to 35. Okay, also we're going to make it all caps. We're going to set the tracking to 0, but then the color, let's use color white, and that is going to make it stand out. Let's duplicate it and then let's bring more details in there. Let's pick general overseer and then let's paste it there. Now for the general overseer, I want us to still use Helvetica and still regular, but then over here let's set it to 20. That's the font, and then the tracking still 0. The color, let's use B7080C color red. Let's drag it up a little bit. Awesome. And then let's pick our rectangular tool and then just draw a very long rectangle like this. Now let's set the color of the rectangle to color black. Now let's drag the rectangle down and then let's transform it and then resize it. Let's select all these and then let's drag it in a little bit, drag it here a little bit. Let's click over here and then let's transform it. Alright, so something like this is quite great. Let's leave it like this and then let's put all of them in a folder and then let's call it name. I think we should bring this particular one a little bit down, so click on it and we'll move it down a little bit. That is awesome. One more thing, I think we start with our lens flare, so let's go and pick our lens flare. Let's pick this particular one. Where are you? Let's pick this. Let's drag it into Photoshop. Now I want to put it somewhere here and let's go and set it to screen. Alright, now we can see it clearly how it looks like. Let's set it over here. Let's reduce the size a little bit. Set it here. So let's go and pick another lens flare. Let's pick this one, drag it in there, and then let's see, something like this is quite great. Let's go and let's set it to color dodge. Okay, and then let's click on filter, let's go to blur, let's go to Gaussian blur, and then let's set it to 72.6 and then click on OK. Awesome. Now I like the way it looks like. You can see it looks like a light over here. Increase the size. And then let's set the opacity to around 40%. Let's duplicate it. And then this time let's set it to linear dodge. Okay. Now linear dodge, let's drag it somewhere here and then let's reduce the size. Let's set it to 100% over here. Let's pick the last lens flare. Let's pick this one, drag it in there, drag it somewhere here. Let's go and let's set it to screen and let's see. Okay, we want to keep it somewhere here. Let's use linear dodge. Alright, so let's use linear dodge. Let's put all in a folder and let's name it lens flare. Quite awesome. The last thing we are going to work on is our logo. We want to put our logo somewhere here. Let's click on our text tool and let's paste it there. Now go to over here and then let's set it to Cambria. And then also we are going to set it to regular over here. The font size we are going to use is 25, and then we are also going to make sure they are bold. This one is off, and then let's set the color to color white. Something like this is quite great. Let's move it somewhere here. Let's duplicate it bring it down a little bit, and then let's pick the rest of the details at the enter branch. Let's paste it there. Click over here, let's drag it there. Now go back to your character. We are still using Cambria, and then it's still regular. The font size is still 25. We are still using bold over here. You're still using black, but then this, let's take this one off, and then over here let's set it to 200. Let's see, and then now we can now start working on our logo PNG itself. Drag it in there, and then let's resize it drastically. And so this looks quite great so far. Let's put it in a folder, and then let's call it logo. Okay, now the logo is not standing out because of one thing. It's because of the snow in the background. So let's go to the background, click on the snow over here, click on the mask over here, click on our brush to make sure the caps lock is off, and then let's also increase the size of the brush. Make sure the opacity and the flow are all 100. Let's set here to color black, and then let's click on the mask over here. Of course, let's just clean it like that. You could bring more into it. Okay, now let's give it a layer. Click on the layer, and then let's reduce the opacity to 50%, and then let's just make it more blacker. Make here more blacker, make here more blacker. Let's close it, and ladies and gentlemen, this is how you create a Carol's Night flyer. If you love this video, please hit the bell icon and subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to like this video and share it if you can. I love you all guys. See you in the next tutorial. Peace.